two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of CovInspiration with Dayo Israel. It is exciting to be here again today on a Friday. By the way, it's the last Friday in this season of Ramadan. So let me say to everyone, Ramadan Kareem and Eid
Hello.
Mubarak. I pray that the blessing of the Almighty will be upon every one of us in this season and beyond. Thank you for tuning in. This evening, I have with us on the show in the studio a strong achiever, someone who has been exceptionally blessed by the Almighty. If you read her story and you hear about her lifestyle, it is a glory of grace and exceptional achievement. From my research and in my understanding, there are very few women in Lagos State who have had such an enormous experience as my guest for today. She has been commissioner under the last administration in three different ministries, if I'm correct. She was commissioner for youth at the time. She went on to become the commissioner for wealth creation. And if I'm correct, I think she went on to be the commissioner for home affairs. And then she came back this time around again as commissioner for home affairs. And now she's commissioner for tourism. I believe there are very few people who have had such a tremendous experience in short time under different administrations in the history of Lagos and of Nigeria. And I want to say that this is one of tenacity. Please welcome with me to the studio, to the show, pharmacist, Honorable Uzamat Akinbile Yusuf Moremi. Mama, good to see you, ma.
Good evening, Dayo. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How's it going?
To the glory of God, we are doing good. Thank God for His mercy and blessing.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Allahu Akram.
So this is coronavirus season. You can't go to the party. How are you going to celebrate in this season? I think there's a bit of light coming from behind your window. I don't know if you can adjust the beat, ma. So it's not letting us see your face. Yes, we can see you a bit now.
Is it better here now?
It's way better, ma. So how are you going to spend the period, the Ramadan period, Honorable Commissioner?
First and foremost, we give Almighty the glory, the adoration, at least to be among the few people that are opportune to be alive till today. Many people have gone under the ground, and now we are where we are. So the opportunity we have is just to be quiet at this period of solemnization with what the world is going through presently. So we are planning to have it in a quiet way in our house. We're going nowhere. We're going to celebrate and praise God in our inner rooms. So I encourage everyone out there too to join us to celebrate Eid at home. Have your prayer at home. Have your prayer with your family. Then celebrate Eid with only your immediate family. There's no need of visiting your family and friends this time around as you used to do. We need to continue to keep safe. Let's maintain the social distance. And that is where we are today.
Honorable Commissioner, on a lighter note, is this all stay-at-home period? Is it saving you money in this holiday season? Because I don't want to imagine how much you would have had to spend for different people who are doing events and all of that. But now everybody has to spend their Eid at home. Is this going to save you some money on a lighter note?
Let me just say it this way, that it's not saving anything. If you still have to do, you need to do. Nobody is forcing you to do it. But if you believe in what you are doing, despite the period, people really need us even more now than ever before. So I'm not seeing anything I'm saving because we are not going out. I still need to reach out to my people, still show them love, show them how much I care for them. So not because we are not doing the merriment or party, that is why I need to save. Whoever that I need to reach out to, I still must to reach out to every one of them. Even in my own way.
And this is what they say about you. You're a philanthropist. You've done a lot for the community. You've given back. I even hear that you've even repaired some roads in your community with your own money. What's the driving force, Honorable Commissioner?
Whom I am is just to assist the less privileged. That is myself. Whom I am is to make change in my community. Whom I am is to add value to the society. Whom I am is that whenever one day you will leave, let people say good story about you while you are no more. Millions of people had come to life and they've gone. So one day we will cease to be in existence. And those things that you have done while you are alive is the things people will remember you for. So while we are here, the best we could do is to touch life and add value to humanity. Not only about me. Life is not only about me, it's about everybody.
Would you say that is the secret of your exceptional rise in public policy? In 2011, you were just an aspirant running for House of Assembly. The highest office you ever held before then was a supervisor in the local government.
Even it was suddenly after that. It was after that. It was after my aspiration that I became a supervisor. I contested in 2010 years for House of Assembly.
Wow.
And I was offered supervisory councillor in my local government thereafter.
And you know, in less than a few years after, you had already served in over 5 ministries in Lagos, and you know, you keep going from one ministry to the other and one ministry to the other. You know, it's just exceptional. What is the secret? Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me? Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. I was saying, what is the secret? You know, is the tenacity? It trusts you so much to hand over ministries to you, even ministries that are peculiar to people who think that, you know. Can you hear me, Honorable Commissioner? Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me? I think there's an issue with your internet. If you can exit and then come back in. Can you exit and then come back? Let me try to ring your WhatsApp. I think it's a network issue. Let me ring your WhatsApp too. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Let me. Please bear with us. Commissioner, can you? I think there was a network issue and you exited. Your sound is not coming out. If you can come out and come back in. Okay. Sorry, everyone. We're just trying to reconnect back to the Honorable Commissioner, and we can continue our conversation after she's back now. Oh, thank you. Thank God that you're back. So I think I was talking. Did you hear my last question?
Not very well. Can you repeat the question?
So I said, in less than, you know, a few years, 2011, you were just, you know, an aspirant, then you become a supervisor, and in less than 7 years after, you have presided over at least 5 ministries in Lagos State. What is the secret?
I'll give everything back to the God Almighty, who choose anybody he likes at a particular point in time. And I will say it loud and clear that wherever I find myself, I love to put in my best. I love to at least have my landmark program and objective very clearly when I get to an office. And I try to pursue my objective. I have my vision statement and mission statement in all my ministry. So whenever I want to leave that ministry, I don't want to leave the ministry and everybody in the ministry will forget things immediately thereafter. I like to leave the ministry with something that in another decade, you will still remember that somebody had come at a particular point in time. So I give God the glory for I'm a go-getter. If I have to get something done, I go ahead and get it done. I don't see any obstacle but challenge, which I believe I need to surmount in whatever I lay my hands on. And that has kept me going. I have high drive that motivates me at all times. And I thank God for people around me that I've been opportunity to work with. They've been so good and such of encouragement to whatever I might have achieved in line of my service.
Honorable Commissioner, so if I get you right, first is the grace of God. The second is the fact that you're a person of impact and result. Is there any one or two other secret that you can share, because a lot of young people are actually watching this show right now, and we mobilize a lot of people who have benefited from your service in the youth council and youth ambassadors.
Most important thing in life is determination and ready to impact.
Determination.
You must get determined. Definitely, there will be challenges along your way. The road might be very rough. But when you are determined that, oh, I need to achieve this, it's that determination that will be your drive towards success. You won't look at the challenges around you. The challenges can be a distractor. There are a lot of things that would like to distract you when you want to achieve great things in life. But you need to just be ready to resolve within yourself that, oh, I must to get this done. I must to achieve this at a particular point in time. And you give yourself time limits whenever you want to get this, anything happen. Most especially positive things. It's not that easy. You must be ready to have a sleepless night. You must be ready to consult widely. Those are the things that I always do. Wherever I find myself, I use people as my catalyst. I get consult from everybody. I don't believe I have it all. So when you consult with people, they advise you, you sit down yourself, you pound on those advices that you must have gotten from people. Then you get the best use of it. You can't depend only on your own efforts or on your own mindset alone. You still need good people, I mean, people that you have to have few people around you that you look up to, that they are of high intellect, they've gone through different stage of their life, and they've been able to move up with the challenges they've encountered in life. They are the source of my strength at all times. I have people around me that I consult, that I get advice from, and supports me in whatever I want to achieve.
That's
so it's
exceptional.
It's not all about who I am alone, but there are a lot of people that surround me, positive thinking people that believe that, oh, if you want to do this, let's sit down together, let's think out of it, let's think out of the box, let's think the best way we can achieve the best of this situation, even at the worst period of my life. They will tell me, don't worry, don't get yourself bothered, you'll get it solved. So you really
the right
need
relationship.
yes,
right relationship and people around you.
People you are being surrounded with, not the psychopaths.
Surround yourself.
Even when, and you give them the opportunity to know you, to know your capacity. You don't deceive people, you don't lie to people. You have to tell them whom you are, you tell them your capacity. So wherever you need help, they can quickly come on board to help you. You won't be able to disappoint them and disappoint yourself. Because the worst that can happen is when you disappoint people that need to help you. Some people can just paint a wrong thing and make it a good one. You don't do that to people around you so that they can get the problem solved with you.
Managing expectation, that's one thing I get from that.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are the things that you need to keep yourself with if you really want to go far in life. Stop surrounding yourself with people that can just clap for you and say all is well. I always ask people, don't tell me the good side of me. Tell me the bad side of me so that I can work on myself. Don't tell me I've done
Commissioner, you know, I have so much questions I need to ask you. I have a lot of points from a lot of people, and we have limited time because we have only 1 hour. So I'm going to throw it at you, goes from every side, and I know that you're capable to give me the response.
No problem.
Let me go into your achievement a little bit. So you were in home affairs, you were in youth, you were in wealth creation, and now you're in tourism. What would you consider your biggest achievement from all of those ministries? Each one. So let's take it one by one. So tell us what your biggest achievement was in wealth creation, in home affairs.
Let me start with youth and social development. That's my first office in the public service, at least. And the youth and social development, I would say you were able to streamline the adoption process of social development in Lagos State and make it of the best international standards. That's one thing I'm happy. Before I came on board, the adoption has already been put on hold before I came on board. And I can tell you hundreds of parents, hundreds of couples were able to become parents through that process, which I'm very happy about. The Akinbile Youth Academy was my another program that I initiated when I was in the ministry, where we put many youth in the academy and we're able to teach them different things they need to become the best whom they are in life. So we were able to do that. We're able to get the youth policy document in Lagos, the first of its kind, in place at that time too. Many other things. We're able to empower the people living with disability in different aspects of it, where 500 million was used as a seed fund by the state government and to empower people living with disability. So there are hundreds of, I can keep on counting a lot of things that we're able to achieve in the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. And when I got to wealth creation, I spent barely 16 months in wealth creation. The first thing we're able to do is the employment skill that we organized at that time, where we have over 1,000 participants. And at that period, over 20% of them were able to secure good job at that time, at that ministry. So I see it as a good achievement. Some of them were able to stand on their own after the program, while some get an employment through corporate organization, private sector, the rest like that. And before I left, I was able to domesticate the three sectorial hub that we intend to start. We have the curriculum, we have the skill curriculum that we are domesticated to. The skill curriculum is those things that the graduates need to understand so that they can get job, they can be employed. We realized that many of our graduates couldn't get employment because of they lack some skills, important skills that the employee are required from the employers are required from the employee. So we wanted to bridge that gap so that we can upskill them after their university education. So we're able to bring the curriculum as being expected of the private sector so they can switch into that position. We're able to get that done. Then we propose to have a hub for skill acquisition. Many of our people went to different skills, but at the end of the day, they couldn't get a startup. They couldn't get startup for their businesses. So we plan to have the hub in every part of the state. So when they are done with their skill, they can go in there and start doing their business. If you're a caterer, you can get in there with your material, raw material, and get your cake.
Did you give them seed funding?
We won't give them anything. We'll give them an environment that will be suitable. LSCTF is there to give them, but I will believe all of them might not be able to qualify to get the seed fund. But when we have this hub in place, they can go in there and do their job for at least 2 years and get money for themselves to start the business on their own without looking for any loan or assistance again from the government. If you learn fashion design now, we are going to have a hub that we have different machines to put in there for you to go and sew and give it to your client or your customer at the end of the day. Those are the things we plan. And we train many graduates and undergraduates at this different kind of skill. We train some people with rough and tumble, where with the government empower them, give them the machines and all the tools they need to start the business. And we did with the Oracle too. We trained some of our youth in Oracle applications and different kinds of training. We had one with the automedics where many youth were trained in how to do the new generational vehicles. So those are the few things I could remember just at my flip. Now I know we did beyond that, but those are the things I could remember. And those are the two ministries I had. The last administration, I was in youth and social. Yes, I was in youth and social development from October 2015 to 2018 January, and from January 2018 to May 2019. And in August 2019, I started with this administration in Ministry of Home Affairs.
Let me interrupt you, Honorable Commissioner, before you continue into what you achieved now. What was your reaction like when you first heard that you were going to also be in this new cabinet? Were you excited? Were you like, oh my God, another level of work? Because I know that government work is a lot of work. Or were you excited? What was your first reaction?
Because I'm used to it, I couldn't get any serious reaction about it. It has become numb to me. I know the challenges ahead. I understand the job. I understand the terrain. So I wasn't, yes, it is so challenging. I understand it. But when you are being called to public service, the only thing is just for you to put on your boots, roll up your sleeve, and ready to give the best. Since I know I will not say no to it. So I don't need to get like, oh, because of the stress. Yes, I know it's very, very stressful. I understand. But you've made up your mind that you want to serve your people. You have to go ahead and do the needful. So I don't look back. When I got, the only thing I did was God gave me the grace to do the best that my people requested of me. That is just the prayer that I offer to God. I don't want to get myself disappointed. I don't want to get those people that love me disappointed with the job that are being offered. So I know it's only God that can take you through it. It's not that you are so wise or you are brilliant. If God has perfected your way, everything will go on seamlessly. And I believe so much in Him that is with God, He will make things easier and make things possible. So I hold on to that as my weapon and my strength. And that is the way I've always been. I don't believe I have the extra power or energy to make things happen, but I believe so much that with God, thousands of things that is impossible will be possible with Him.
And so you got the Ministry of Home Affairs in this administration, and then went on now to Tourism, Arts and Culture. So please continue with your achievement in Home Affairs, and then now to the Tourism, Arts and Culture.
In fact, I was in Home Affairs for like 5-6 months. My appointment was August, and I left there January 16. So between that August and January, I was actually able to do the few things I was supposed to do. And I have several plans that I wish I should be able to achieve.
Yes. I was laughing to myself, man, that perhaps you actually have a bag ready to go. Like, where's the next ministry? We are ready. Like right now, yeah.
Yeah, it's about religion and about religious tolerance. Our people in this part of the world, we are so religious, and it's a sensitive ministry. Anything can spur war if you are not very careful. And I'm a Muslim, so I need to see myself as not commissioner for Muslims, but commissioner for Christians and Muslims. So I chose in my own side that whatever they are doing in the church, whatever they are doing in the mosque, I must be there to support. I did not see myself as, I did not see myself. I need to encourage them, and I need to own their trust. The best way you can own their trust is that they can confide in you, they can open their heart to you, is to be part of whatever they are doing. So immediately I got to the ministry, I became pastor. I started reading Bible.
Yes. I saw all of that.
I started going around with them wherever they want me to be. As the commissioner in that ministry, I choose to be there with them. And some people is like, she's a Muslim. Why is he in Jerusalem? She's a this. I say, I'm in Jerusalem not because I'm in Jerusalem because I'm a commissioner for Home Affairs, and I need to support everything they are doing. Going to church, reading scriptures. In fact, my family started calling me, Pastor, Mrs. Shalaja, and I was like, yes, that is the assignment I'm being given to do, and I must get the best out of it. And I wouldn't say because of this, there's nothing like, I happen to be the first woman to head that ministry.
Wow.
That is an history on my own side that has never been for a woman in the past. It has always been men. But I happen to be the first woman to lead that, to edge that ministry. So it's an opportunity. I was telling them at that time, it's not by accident. It's the way God has designed it. It's the way God wants it. And that is why I'm here. And I'm going to put in my best. I ensure that there's a coexistence between the Christians and Muslims in the state. Anything that wants to come up as of, oh, this side is not happy with this side, I'll quickly get into it and we discuss it about it and we iron it out. So everybody were at business. We have direct meeting. And at that time, I was frowned at the pollution that is coming from our religious houses. I was seriously frowned at it. Worshipping our God does not change anything, even if we are very silent. We don't need 310 speakers outside before God answers our prayer. And I told them that when you are having your normal program, it's quite different than when you're having your crusade. When you want to do crusade, go and get a permission from the government and tell government that you want to have your crusade. Then you can use whatever you like, wherever you are being permitted to hold this crusade, but not at the mid-hour of the night. That some people are trying to get their sleep. Some people are hypertensive. They are using Lexotan to sleep. Many people are having one element or the other. I mean, totally against of noise pollution from our religion. And I was telling them that, no, we don't want this in Lagos State. Go to every part of the world. You won't see it. We are not the only country that believe in God.
Yes.
Yes. Every other, there are thousands of countries out there that are worshiping God the way we too we love to worship God. It's not about noise. It's not about causing damages to others that you are worshiping God. Think about only love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if we love our neighbor, we shouldn't cause injury to our neighbor's health. Some people are hypertensive, they are struggling with their health, and yet you won't allow them to have the good sleep at night after all the traffic of the state during the day. Some people get into their houses around 11 at the midnight, and yet time for them to go to bed 12, you raise up your microphone and your speaker is out there and you start disturbing the peace of the environment. So I was in the battle ready with all those religious houses, either church or mosque. I don't want to know. Just obey the rule of the
rules.
That is, yes, just obey the simple rule and regulation of the state. And another thing I was having in plan to do is that thousands of times we battle with data. We don't have data. We don't have the number of churches we have in our state. We don't know the number of mosques in our state. And some people dodge under the religious to perpetrate different kinds of evils, all because we don't know where they are. So I was planning to ensure that I have the data of all the church in each local government till the last small church, to have the number of mosques and other worship centers in our state, so that whenever we need anybody from anywhere on our system, we can click on our system and say, oh, this is Pastor so is in this place, is the head of that church. This is Alaji so or Sheikh so is the head of. So those are the things we were planning to do at that point in time. Those are the things we're planning to do at that point in time before. And we went to Jerusalem. Yes, it was a very good experience for me personally. I was able to see the beauty of that country, that there they have Jews, they have Christians, they have Muslims living peacefully together. There's no war. There's a mosque just close to this war. Yes, that everybody rushing there to go and pray, and God answers their prayer. So I don't know why I will not have my best friend as a Christian. I don't know why Muslim will be fighting with Christian in our own country, in our own state. One will say, oh, this is ours. We should be able to tolerate ourselves. The way you like, worship your God. It's between you and your God. Let me worship him the way I like. And let's ensure that we tolerate ourselves and have peaceful coexistence. That is when we can develop our nation. That is when we can develop our state. Not that when I have hatred for this person because he's doing this, because I don't like what the person is doing. Leave God to judge the way we are worshiping him. We are not to judge anybody. Tomorrow I can go to Pastor Adeboye. It's none of anybody's business. Yes, it is about me. It's about me, it's about my God. And I can remain whatever I like to be. Is what I believe in. So whatever you believe in, and that is the way I was telling everybody when I was in Home Affairs. If you're a Muslim, you mess up with me, you'll be in soup. If you're a Christian, you mess up with me, I will deal with you. Forget about religion. It's about you and I, and it's about our God. So let's be just in whatever we are doing. We went to Jerusalem. First of its numbers that we have in recent time, since the government has stopped sponsoring, we have close to 1,000 pilgrims that will travel to Jerusalem together. In the past, it used to be around 400, 500. And that was the first time without government sponsor. Government did not sponsor anybody, and we have close to 1,000 people that actually went there. And they were able to get the best of it. Yes, we have few people that absconded. We have 5 abscondees, but it has always been like that. Even with that number, I think that's the best we could have at that point in time, because many people have resolved that, oh, I'm going to abscond whenever I travel. But we did so many workshop, reorientation, training before we actually embark on the journey. So the number that are absconded for this year is relatively low compared to the number that used to even abscond when we don't have that number of pilgrims that travel.
Wow.
So I can say, yes, I thank God for that opportunity and for the grace. So I thank God and I appreciate my governor for that opportunity to be in that ministry. Yes, even if it's just for a very short period of time. It was a lovely experience for me.
Before you go to your current ministry, I want you to use this opportunity, Matt, to clarify something. People don't actually understand yet how the whole issue of the pilgrimage works. You know, who is paying for what? People still think that when they say Lagos State government has 1,000 delegation, they believe it's Lagos State government that is paying for 1,000. If you can please take a minute to explain actually how it works, who is actually paying, how the payment, is being divided, and then we can then take in, you can then go to the next point. I think we lost Honorable Commissioner due to internet, but I'm sure she will be back again. We'll just keep waiting for her. It's been a great conversation so far. She's an amazing woman, and I'm looking forward to having her back. She's back on the show. Sorry, Ma, we love you. We lost you for a second. Yes, so if you can explain a bit of that for us, and then go into Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Tourism now.
Yes, let me tell the public that Lagos State government does not sponsor anybody in only pilgrimage. That is the best way to explain it. The only area where government comes in is to coordinate the pilgrims because they are citizens. We ensure that they go in there safely and they return safely. The only area where we add value to the pilgrimage is about their health. Whenever they are going, we go with doctors and nurses that assist to their health and any form of challenges that they encounter during the pilgrimage. But in form of sponsorship, Lagos State government has stopped that since 2015 until I left that ministry, and I can say till date, we have not started any form of sponsoring. The only thing the state government is doing is to ensure the safety of all the pilgrims when they are on pilgrimage.
Excellent. So let's talk about. I'm even getting more questions now about tourism, but let's talk about where you are now, and then we'll get. There's so much I want to ask you, and a lot of our people want to listen to. So please, let's hear about your big success and achievements so far in the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. I know you just got there in January, but perhaps there might be 1 or 2 achievements.
Of course. We've been able to do a bit of it. I got into the office in January. And the first thing I did immediately I was in the office is to check those areas, the tourism center and center of tourism across the state. We have in Badagry, there are lots of abandoned projects in Badagry, the slave trade zone, the point of no return, the Flikete market, and several other ones like that in Badagry. So what we're trying to do is to put all this together and ensure the completion of this project within before the end of this administration. And Mr. Governor is looking around it, and I can assure the public that the Badagry will become a good tourist center for us in Lagos State very, very soon. That's number one. The second thing we're able to do, we wanted to have our regatta in April before the pandemic, and the pandemic has put that on hold. We couldn't go out to do that again. The regatta, there are few things we wanted to achieve with regatta. Lagos State is blessed with water. We are the state of aquatic splendor. And we've not been able to maximize the usage of our waterways. There are thousands of things we can do in our water. I want to see how the waterway, we can generate a lot of employment on our waterways. We can do a lot of activities on our waterway. There are boat crews, but Lagosians have not been able to exploit all this area. So we wanted to make sure that our waterway become a tourist attraction. We want to have lights on our waterway that you can, even at night, we have a deep ocean that we can dive. We can do a lot of competition on our waterway. I mean, international competitions on our waterway, where people from other countries will come around to Lagos and see what God has really blessed us with. So those are the things I was planning to do before the eventuality that is ravaging across the world started in Lagos State in Nigeria. So we have thousands of programs that we've planned, even throughout the whole year. Wanted to release our tourism calendar, all our activities that on our website, you can, whenever you're coming to Nigeria, through our website, you know what is happening on a daily basis in Lagos State. We want to ensure that we're having 365 days of activities in Lagos State. That was my plan. Lagos State is an entertainment hub for West Africa, and I want it to be an entertainment hub for the whole Africa. If anybody is talking about entertainment, it's a strong pillar in team's agenda. And I want to ensure that that agenda of tourism and entertainment is at the front burner of this administration. That was my plan, and that was what we're planning to start doing before the eventuality that comes around, where we are presently. So now we need to now think deeply on how can we live our life even with COVID-19. Few things that we planned in the past we might not be able to do it in the way we've planned it, but we need to re-strategize. COVID-19 has come, and we are not seeing the end of tunnel very soon. So how best can we live it even with COVID-19? We have thousands of things we can achieve, only for us just to go back and think about how to achieve those things with COVID-19. And that is what brings about the committee that I inaugurated yesterday. A 6-man committee was inaugurated yesterday just to review the pandemic and see how we can live our life and still entertain our people and ensure that we did not lose the grip of our tourism, because the tourism sector is one of the hard hit sector with this pandemic. And despite that, we can't close our eyes and say that is over. No, it can never be over. We still need to get something positive out of where we are today. And that is what we are doing presently. There will be guidelines, all our hotels are locked down, all our restaurants, all our event center, no activities, social distancing. Yes, despite that situation, there's always a way out. So the way out is where we are presently. We just started easing the lock in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And this is the second phase of it, where we are. I believe very, very soon we start to ease it gradually, and it will get to our own sector as well. So there are hundreds of things we've planned in the ministry to do. We want to ensure that we are having this project ongoing, and by the special grace of God, we will complete before the end of this year. That is the J.K. Randu Center for Heritage and Culture. It's the best in Africa. It's the best in Africa. And our Global Memorial Hall, all Lagosians know the meaning of Global Memorial Hall. We are bringing it back to life, and it's going to be better than the way it was. So those are the things that we are looking at. I was at Shugbe, where one of our sites that is listed on the UNESCO, the only site that is listed in UNESCO in Nigeria, that is the Shugbe. And we are looking at how to bring it back to life. I was there, it has been deserted, but we're still going to bring it back to life. Those are the few things we are trying to do in the ministry.
What about, for example, the cinemas, the local community cinemas that were created in the last administration? How do you intend under this new administration to leverage them, take advantage of them, and get the community to, actively maximize the potential of those centers?
Those are the few things that the pandemic has changed for us. There are thousands of things we wanted to be doing. We want to be having art exhibition, training, and lot of skills to be trained in our centers, and we want it to be like marketplace for the people in that sector, for the tourism sector and creative sector. But as it is now, we cannot just go in there and leave it open because of the social distancing. So by the time the committee come up with their programs and suggestions and recommendations, we will be able to see. It's part of what they are looking at. They are looking at all our assets as a government and see what we can start the benefits of those assets with the pandemic.
Honorable Commissioner, you've talked a lot about some of the great achievements in your experience so far. Before I move to my next area of concern, I also want to hear about some of your biggest challenges in some of those ministries, in particular your recent ministries. What challenges did you face and how did you overcome them? I want to dig deep a bit into the achievement of the two ministries that you have worked under Babajide Bishola Sanwo-Olu, because as we celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Mr. Governor, we need to be able to access the level of contribution that the ministries have done to the governor achieving the team's agenda, and to also measure the impact of those. What would you consider as revolutionary that has been done in the two ministries which we have served under the BOS administration, and what should we expect, in particular in tourism, arts, and culture in the next 4 years, God willing?
Okay, let me start with where I am presently, the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. What we should be expecting, what we've been able to achieve in this administration is to ensure that all our assets were able to capture and finish up at the appropriate time. And that is our mindset. And another thing is to ensure that, because tourism is private sector driven, most importantly, what we need to do is to regulate the sector and ensure that the private sector participation is important and we're able to be on the same page. First thing we're trying to achieve is to ensure that we have the master plan of the tourism sector, tourism, art and culture in place. And we presented that in the last few days. Yes, we've presented that to the stakeholders and we asked them to review it so they can own it. That is what we're going to be using henceforth to ensure that our tourism will actually have a pedestrian that we are working on, all of us, what we need to achieve. There are thousands of tourist attraction centers, hundreds of tourist attraction centers in Lagos State, but even people living in Lagos State are not aware of it. So we want to bring it to our people. We want to all local government, all the tourist area in each local government will be listed very, very soon. So people in that locality can as well look at, so this thing we're having in our neighborhood and we don't even know about it. Those are the things we are planning to do. So we ensure that tourism, everybody, when you have your guests, you know a place where you can take them to so they can enjoy and see the beauty of Lagos State. Not only that, what we are known for is, there are a lot of traffic in Lagos State, there are a lot of traffic, but we need to change the narratives. We want the world to see the beauty of Lagos State. Everywhere in the world that is of this nature, we always have traffic. But that is the only thing Lagosians always like to see. It's about traffic. When there's no traffic, Lagosians are happy. But the beauty of Lagos, we are not telling the world about it. And that is what I want to do with that ministry. I want the world to see the beauty of Lagos so that whenever they come to Lagos, they can have places to visit and enjoy and be entertained. That's one of the few things we are planning in the ministry, to have our master plan, to have our policy. We want to develop a policy in that ministry, and we want to ensure that that policy is being driven. And we want to ensure also we are planning to have the tourism endowment fund. It's important that we have that fund. Thousands of things that we can do, we can achieve to create job opportunity for our people, people really their need of job. And in tourism, you can create so many. We can have here in Lagos State, we don't have heritage markets. When you go to New York, you see I love New York. You see different things. We don't have all that here in Lagos State. So the tourists will come around and they won't even be able to buy few things that they can remember Lagos State with. We want to rebrand Lagos. We want to market Lagos in our ministry. We want to rebrand Lagos. We want to market Lagos. So anybody that comes to Lagos, we have beautiful, good memory of their visits. Not that I just come in, and even within Nigeria, some people will like to come and enjoy the beautiful area that is in, not even the foreigners alone, the Nigerians as well can just come around and see the beauty of Lagos than what they used to know Lagos for. What we know Lagos for is, economic hub. We want to come and buy, we want to come and, not that alone. When we are talking about fun, when we are talking about entertainment, when we are talking about tourism, we want to change the narrative. We want to market Lagos State in all this area. So those are the things we are planning in that ministry. Few things that we've been able to achieve in this short time that I got in there with the stakeholders meeting. Yes, the first of Zoom meeting that has happened in that sector is in Lagos State. Over 300 people participated in our meeting a few days ago, and they contributed immensely on how to add value to the tourism in the state. And we are looking at all their contribution and ensure that it comes to play.
Thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner. You know that for lawyers, for example, they have specialized institutions, they have the law school where they can sharpen their skill further to become lawyers. Same with banking, accountancy, they have like ICANN exam. Do you support the idea that should be specialized institution for tourism, hospitality, and culinary, where people we can raise a new generation of tourism, hospitality, and culinary professionals that will lead the industry beyond just going to study that in the university? Should there be specialized institution and accreditation for that sector?
Yes, I think it's very, very important because it's a profession on its own. It's something that the practitioner needs to be able to understand very well. And when there's a school here in Lagos that is certified for tourism. And I think if we can continue in that, it is going to add so much value. And also, we are planning to have the academy as well. Lagos State government is planning to have the academy, most especially with this pandemic, to upscale and reorientate the people in that sector to adjust and adapt with the new norms, where we are presently. So we are planning to have an academy, and we are even planning to have Vim Village. Many things that we are doing that is not up to standard is because we don't have few things that need to be added as government to our people to get the best of this industry. So those are the things we are planning. What we are planning to have the Vim Village, we are planning to have the academy, and also in support of the certification of that profession.
Film Village and Academy.
Yeah.
Honorable Commissioner
is situated in Ejin side of the state. That is where we are.
Honorable Commissioner, information coming to me is that there is no bachelor degree or master degree in any Nigerian institution specific for the tourism industry. Are you aware of this?
I'm not aware of that, but I know there is a school that gives certification to tourism. That is what the school is Nigeria Institute of Tourism.
Practitioner of Nigeria, or something like that.
Yes, yeah, in Lagos State. I can get it.
Yes, but there's fantastic ideas you have shared, but there's also a lot of, Yoruba will say tibitiri ladaliaye. So as fantastic as all the ideas that you have are, there are challenges attracted to the success of this. So, for example, we have infrastructural deficit in various sectors of the tourism industry. So we don't have the usual high street and all of that you have. So a lot of restaurants and bars and clubs and lounge are being forced to open their business in residential area. How do we mitigate this challenge? And then, by the time they have their business in residential area, because there's not enough, layout and plan for the city that is being implemented, in particular, the conventional area like Lagos Island and all of these other, old town communities, you then get people reporting to LASEPA that there's a lot of noise from this bar, this hotel, parking spot, people are parking on the road and all of that. How do you plan to mitigate against this?
Thank you for that question. I will tell you, it's just today that we constitute a committee, interministerial committee, between my ministry and physical planning to assess all these things you just spoke about and see how we can mitigate the effects of it in our state. We need to have a good plan for this state. Everybody just get into any place they like and start doing whatever they like without recourse to the government. And if we are being brutal to it, they will tell us that we are not compassionate, we are taking people out of job. But the best we can have is to even tell the public, if you want to do this, this is the area we have for you. So in our master plan, we are going to tell you the area you can get to if you need to build a skyscraper hotel. We tell you the area you can go to if you need to build something in tourism. So that is what we are trying to work out. And we have the Department of Research and Development in the ministry. So we want them to look at all that area so that we can be of international standard. It's not a thing you just wake up and just start doing. We must have a standard. So when anybody comes around, their experience, we speak a lot, not only to your own business, but to our own dear state. So people will give themselves stars. I am 5 stars hotel. Nobody is awarding you that mark, but just choose that mark by yourself. So all those are the things. That's why I say we are the regulator. It's more private sector driven, but we need to regulate very well and properly. And I believe our people will appreciate what we are trying to do. We are not trying to witch hunt anybody, but to ensure that we have that standard of high international standard. Lagos State is not one of those states. People always believe Lagos State in Nigeria, whereas Lagos State is even more than many other states. They don't put one of 36. They don't add us as one of the 36 in Nigeria. I can't say why we are ahead of the nation because we are within this. We don't have the sovereign on our own. But Lagos is far ahead of other states in Nigeria. So whenever you want to build or create anything within the state, you must get the appropriate license. I can tell you when we're having Zoom meeting, someone asked me questions that if they come to register in the ministry, will I not be charging them different? Will I not be charging them levies? I was asking the person that, how would you be paying your levies? Because there are things you need to do as a citizen, and there are things the government needs to do. How could you be paying your own levy in the past? Why are you afraid of registration? You are doing business and the government is not aware of what you are doing. Why are you running away from your responsibility? Those are the questions I ask our people. You want everything to be done by the government, but the little contributions as citizens, are you ready for it? You want us to be like America, you want us to be like Canada, you want us to be like Paris. Do you pay the same taxes those people are paying? The answer is no. Our people, all what they want is free meals. We don't want to contribute little. It's only a few people. I can tell you, we have numbers of hotels in Lagos State. How many do we have on our database? If we go to them to register them, see, I saw something today, which my heart bleeds. A law enforcement agent officer was beat to stupor.
Wow.
By hooligans. All because he's trying to enforce no Okada in our state presently. So those are the things we find very difficult to adjust. Why are we like this? The citizens should know their rights, and government should do the best for the citizens.
Honorable Commissioner, we're meant to end at 6, but if you don't mind, I'm happy to. I still have a lot of questions. I hope we can go another 15 more minutes extra if you don't mind. I know you have to break your fast.
No problem,
Because
I'm fine.
thank you. Thank you. So I want to talk to you about, you've talked about government doing their part and citizen also doing their part. A lot of job has been lost in this period. A whole lot of job has been lost in the tourism industry due to COVID-19. I'll tell you some of the example. The airline agent, the people working in the airport, the people working in the hotels, people working in the restaurants and bars. What is the government doing about it to mitigate or to create a palliative for those who are in that sector? I see you're
Thank you.
smiling. You're expecting that question.
You know why I'm smiling? We know the problem. We all know the problem. And as a government, the only thing we can do is to solve people's problem. Citizens, when there's a problem, everybody runs back to the government.
Yes.
And we should be there to assist our people. Part of what we ask the committee to bring up is what kind of best way we can mitigate the effects of this pandemic in our economy. Definitely, there are going to be lots of jobs, serious one in our sector. But we are ready as government to assist. I can say it loud and clear. We are ready to assist our people in our own best capacity. Only if you show yourself and only if you register with the ministry. We will not run after you to help you. But I can tell you, government is ready to mitigate all the challenges that will come after this COVID-19. We are ready and we are set. That is the purpose of the committee that was inaugurated. So the best way to get into our people is when we know where they are. If we don't know you, if you did not come to register with us, you will just be at the back door shouting that you did not see the effect of government. And there's no way we can see you because you don't have your records with us. So if you want us to assist you in any way, in any form, you need to come forth and register with the ministry. If you register with us, we can now say, okay, Mr. Governor, this is data of our people that we are aware of that have issues, that have been affected with this pandemic, and how best we can now assist them. Because I'm sure Mr. Governor will do something. I can say it loud and clear. Mr. Governor is a passionate leader, is a man of the people, and is ready to, and we are looking at our tax relief package to our people. Because we know that many of them are out of job for months, and we are looking at all that incentives, soft loan, grants where required. So we are ready to assist, only if they need to be assisted.
Excellent. All right, Commissioner, how do you see the tourism industry helping to revive the economy of Lagos post-COVID-19? What role do you envisage that the tourism industry will play in reviving Lagos economy and increasing the IGR of Lagos post-COVID? In particular, responding to what happens now. Right now, we're cutting down budget, we're reviewing our expenditure. Governor just announced yesterday that there's going to be a variation, not variation, what's the word again? To review, downward review of the budget. What role would the tourism industry create post-COVID?
Let me tell you, for whom we are in Lagos State, we are fun lover and we are fun seeker. Everybody is just waiting for the COVID to come to an end. We bounce back. I trust my people. I trust Lagosians. We are always ready to go and we'll get things right. And I know with the way we position ourselves as government and with this strong pillar in this team's agenda, we are ready for it. We definitely add value to the economy of that sector. There are hundreds of things we are planning to do to revive the economy immediately after people. Even during this post-COVID, the stakeholders are there. They are there to work with the state government on how best we can mitigate to the barest minimum level the effect of COVID in our economy. So immediately they come up with a recommendation, suggestion, and advice. We are coming up with action plan, and we are going to implement and execute all actions. That is why we say we are not doing it all alone as government. We want all the practitioners to be involved. We want all the stakeholders to be involved. So we can think through these challenges and find the best solution to this problem. But
So
I can assure the people that immediately we open up the economy, the Lagos State, the tourism will get its space back. Immediately we open, because people are already waiting for it. The entertainment industry will get its back, and there are a lot of programs and activities that we start planning towards immediately after the COVID.
do you think that suspending the payee payment for a specific period for tourism business owners would be a palliative for them in this period?
Do they even have staff? So it's only when you have staff that you cannot pay. People that have been, what we are trying to do is that even if they are not paying any payee for these 2-3 months of COVID, where they are not working, we are not expecting, we only get payee from the staff salary.
Yes.
And when you cannot even pay your staff, how will you do the payee? But how will you be able to get back to business? So you start paying your staff, and your staff start paying their own taxes. That is where we are now. So we are already set just to go. That is where we are. So immediately we have the clearer window. Now the country is here to be flattened. We still have new cases on daily basis. We are coming up with a guideline according to Mr. Governor on how to ease the lock on hospitality and religious centers. So when we have the clearer window on how to operate, we as a ministry, we are set, and Mr. Governor is ready with us to ensure that everybody in that sector does not lose their job completely, and we're able to bounce back. So we are going to stimulate the system immediately after the COVID.
Excellent.
If we stimulate the system immediately after the COVID, everybody will be able to bounce back in a short time, and we have our life back 100%.
What are your plans to?
If the ministry is not sleeping with this whole situation, I think that's the best we can do for our people.
Yeah.
So immediately we have the. Okay, you can come on with your question.
Sorry, I was going to also find out what are your plans for private sector partnership, in particular as we go into this next level of responding to COVID from the tourism sector. What are your plans to drive PPP, private sector partnership, in the development of the industry in general, in particular as we enter post-COVID?
The sector is private sector driven. Many practitioners are in private sector. We are only regulating the private sector. Most people in hospitality, how many hotels do we have in Lagos State as a government?
The government angle. So, for example, our centers, our film village, and all of that.
Yes, we are like most of our centers, like the Freedom Park, is being driven by private sector. We are in PPP with them. The Apapa Amusement Park is in private sector. So most of our, even the JK Randu we are doing, will be managed by the private sector. So everything the ministry is doing, we always partner with the public so that we can get the best of it. The government is not in business. We are only creating an environment for the business people to get the best of it. So what we are trying to do is we continue to partner with our people to get the best of tourism activities in the state. Like all our waterways as well is open for PPP. But just for us to get the things we need to do together and push it out for the private sector to partner with us to get the best usage of all these things.
Absolutely. I'm concerned about nightlife of Lagos. So you're in New York and you go to Times Square, massive. Everybody wants to go to Times Square, nightlife. It never sleeps. You go to London, for example, it has some form of nightlife. Lagos has a miniature nightlife, in particular in Lekki and in Ikoyi. As a matter of fact, I would say in Lekki more. What are you planning to do in this regard? In particular, Lagos nightlife, and also you cannot do that without street lighting and security. So what are your plans in that area?
we encourage other NDAs to put in place the necessary things to ensure that we can enjoy our nightlife. You know, in the past, we want to have Lagos 24 hours economy in Lagos State. And I believe we are still going to through that direction. When you have 24 hours economy, then both your day and your night, there will be a lot of activities. When we have the street lights everywhere, it will be easier for people to come out and enjoy the beauty of the night. And those are the things. So I'm working with the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources to achieve all this. Because these are the things that will add value to the tourism activities in the state.
Absolutely, exceptionally. I'm going to take a few questions from the audience, who many of them have been sending in their questions, and we can take a few before we then let you go. But it's been great really talking to you, and I hope you are enjoying the conversation as much as we are doing on this side.
Yes, good.
Thank you, man. The first question I'm going to take is from Ramon Olariwaju. Ramon said, what is your biggest challenge when you served as Commissioner for Youth?
My biggest challenge as Commissioner for Youth is when those people that are not youth refer themselves to as a youth. When you see a grandpa coming for to be a youth, I was so amazed that someone of my age will be calling themselves youth in Lagos. When we have the real youth, so they want to change the real youth and they take charge of the youth. And I resisted that, no, it's not going to happen in my own time. I really want our youth to benefit what belongs to them, not an old youth to become a youth. That is my major challenge, and it was not of work.
Excellent. Let me see the next question. Honorable Commissioner, this one is from Essence Safil. Honorable Commissioner, please kindly use your office to promote our culture in all local government in Lagos, because our upcoming don't know it. Each local government to pick one of our two culture. I'm not sure. I don't know if you understand this question.
Very well, I understand that question. I think it's my passion. If the person speaks to my passion, we know we've left our culture far behind. When I said Jerusalem, when I went to Jerusalem, many of them are Jews, just very few of them are Christians, and they promote the culture. Christianity is the culture in Jerusalem, and see the way we turn it to like everybody needs to be there. See in Osun State, when they are talking about Osun Osogbo, see the thousands of people that visit Osun Osogbo shrine, not only here in Nigeria, people from all over the world. So what is our culture that we need to redevelop? Many people have lost value of the culture because of Western and our religion. Yes, religion apart, culture apart. Like they'll be having the Isheshe Day in August 24th. What are we doing as the state government? So those are the things we are trying to do. We want to promote our culture, not that as if I believe in whatever they are doing, but those people that believe in, yes, those people that believe in it should be embraced. Let them do whatever they want to do, and let's promote our state through that area. Whatever they want to do, let people that believe in the Brazilians are there, the people from Cuba, they want to come and see it if we promote it. And it's going to generate revenue. It's going to create jobs. We have tour guides that take us around when we visit Jerusalem. We pay them. Some people will be paid. Some people will be benefited if we promote all these things. But because we've left it and they don't, some people believe in what we are doing more than we. So if they believe in it, let them come and see it. What we are trying to get there is, my vision in that ministry is to use that means to create enough jobs, to create wealth, to reduce crime. And from all these activities, we can do all that. If they want to do it, let them do it. Let's promote it. Let's bring the foreigner to pay. They will use the hotel. They will buy the recharge cards. They will do so many things. They will pay taxes. Consumption taxes will be paid and will generate revenue. That is my own area. That is what I want to achieve. Okay, that's all the time.
No, while you are talking about this, I want you to also eat the Eyo festival. It's not been celebrated like it's been done before. So you're talking about the Cheshe Eyo festival. You know, are you also planning to bring back the glory of Eyo festival?
The Eyo festival in Lagos State has its own origin. Eyo is not of annual celebration. Eyo is for when the Oba or big citizen of Lagos passed on. That is when they bring out Eyo. I've asked questions about it. I would have loved us celebrating Eyo on annual basis, but I was being informed that Eyo can only be celebrated when we are having serious celebration in Lagos. Like now, wanted to do it because of the late Oniru. If not for this pandemic, we will have been coming up with in honor of late Oniru. That is how you can bring Eyo to life.
Excellent, man. Jide Ladipo is my next questioner. Jide says, Lekki Conservation Center, I beg, help us revamp it.
We are looking at it, Jide, don't worry. It's come back to life very soon. It's part of our project.
Okay, excellent. Bayonle Ajiboye says, like what type of employment could we get in Lagos in Lagos waterways?
Oh, there are hundreds of employment we can get on our waterways. When you are having your boat cruise on our waterway, it's part of employment. People will get into it and they create job. Some people will be the ones to give the ticket. Different kind of employment can be generated on our waterways. There are people that will clean the boat. There are people so there are a lot of employment on our waterways that we cannot even sit down here to be mentioned.
Oluwaino says it would be nice if every local government can have a tourist point. By so doing, it increases revenue for the state and the ministry. The tourist point will serve as an hangout spot. Let's take, for example, Bariga at Bariga Jetty.
Yes, we are planning to work with the local government chairman and put a tourist officer in each local government so they can identify the tourist attraction, the tourist center in each local government, so that we'll be able to promote all these things in Lagos State. We are working closely with the local government chairman. We sent a letter across to them. We're expecting them to respond to our letter so we can put the tourist officer in each local government, look at the environment and bring up the tourist attraction. They themselves might not even know that they have such in their domain. So by the time the tourist officer comes to the local government and see the tourist attraction center, they will be able to inform us and we'll see how best we can promote that center.
Abiodun Olariwaju Adedoyin says, good job, my honorable commissioner. And there's a question from Yomi Oweye. I hope you can see the question on the screen, honorable commissioner. Yomi Oweye sent a question from YouTube. It's one of the people watching on YouTube. Says, how does the ministry intend to manage the drive to achieve revenue target against the compliance and enforcement of regulation among players in the sector? So this is about revenue drive and compliance and enforcement.
I will tell you, we need not to enforce before our people comply with the right thing. What we're trying to do is to create an enabling environment for them to generate wealth. If they are able to make money, it won't be a problem for them to pay taxes. So what we are focusing on presently is to give a conducive environment for them to generate revenue on their own, and then they will be able to pay taxes without any form of enforcement.
The final question from the audience before I go take one or two from me and they will let you go is from Nelson Oluchegun. I'm sorry for those I can't read your questions. I see all of you, those Daisy, Bini, and the others. I'm sorry, the Oluwasegun, Sweet Feet, Ezekiel, and Oluwaseyi, then also Olabisi, Oluwafemi Adewale, Titisholari, I believe that's Tutor General District 1. She says, Moremi on point. Jeremy Mkaye says, awesome. Yeah, Bisimi Akeola says, hello. Honorable Dayo. And but let me take this one. There's so many I can't take right now. Nelson Olusegun says, Honorable Commissioner, what is the plan of the ministry towards this year's One Lagos Fiesta? Will the ministry be ready to partner with private individuals?
Well, for this year, Greater Lagos, I cannot predict what will happen before the end of the year. So what we are trying to do in the ministry is to keep our finger crossed and be planning, having our plans gradually for the One Lagos Fiesta. By towards the last quarter of the year, we see how far with this pandemic, and then we can now conclude our plan. So if you have anything to add to what we are doing in the state, you can send us a letter. If you have value to add to what we are doing, you are all welcome. I always say it loud and clear. My door is open to ideas, suggestion, and advice. So if you have something beautiful to do with us, then you are welcome on board.
Honorable Commissioner, I have taken a lot of your time, but it is for a greater Lagos, and I am most grateful. Let me wrap up here. You wrote a book last year, Duty Calls. I'm always fascinated by books. I've seen the title of, what's her name? The former Condoleezza Rice. Her book's title is called No Higher Honor. Michelle Obama's book is Becoming. Yours is Duty Calls. What is the purpose behind this?
The purpose behind the duty calls is to tell the public those things that we've been able to achieve as a commissioner in that 3.5 years. There are hundreds of places I've been to. There are speeches that we've delivered, and I don't want it just to go without having records to all that. So that is why I put the duty calls in place. It's about everything I've been able to do in all the ministry that I had served, and it's about all the activities that are put in place in those ministries. So for anybody that loves to read about it, they can still get it. It's around, and they can contact me. I can share it with them. So whenever you are planning to be anywhere in life, you can use it and read it and keep it for yourself. It's a good thing to all the youth out there to own.
So I would wanted to ask this on this interview. Why are you called Moremi?
Well, it's a name given to me by my constituents, and what they use it to challenge me so that I can do more. I always like to fight for the people and get things done on their behalf. That is, in fact, it's still the same thing that we are fighting presently. There's a problem that doesn't concern, but when it's concerned my people, I mean the citizen, it's always my problem. It's not about, I don't fight for personal things. If it is about me, I can let go. But if it is about people, I will not let go. I will get it done, and they must get the right thing at the right time. So that is when they say, oh, whatever the problem is, Moremi will get the problem solved for us. Let's just, and since that time they've named me Moremi, it has given me like this thing. I have to do more than I've been doing for these people, and it has been a challenge on my own part. I go extra mile to defend the cause of the public. I go extra mile to defend the cause of my people. Whatever they believe in is what I believe in. Whatever they say is what I say. And whatever they want is what I want. I always fight for their cause, in and out. And it's like, oh, already go and get this thing done. Go and get this thing done for us. And I think I'm their servant, and I do the best I could.
Finally, what is your most hilarious experience with Mr. Governor? What has Mr. Governor done to you or around you that I just laugh and say, this man is a very funny person?
Yeah, I would like to say one, but very, very funny. I would say the other one. My Goodwill Project program, which I always do for the people. I held one around, it was in February this year. It was not invited, I did not even inform him. But as normal, he will get to know about it because it's everywhere online. He now called me. More
This is not the time for this network to do this. I think there's a network. I don't know if it's from my side or the Honorable Commissioner's side. Oh, good. Thank you, Matt. I think she's back. Okay, I'm waiting for her to reconnect her mic. Okay, I'm waiting for the Commissioner to be back. Please bear with me. I think the Commissioner is having some network issues. Just bear with us, please. She'll be back to answer our final question, and then we can let her go. Yes, I think she's back. Sorry, man. We lost you there for network. I can't hear you. I don't know if your sound is connected. Can you come back and go back in? Can you go out and go back in? We can't hear you. Yes, good. So she's gone out now. She's going to try to come back in. I hope that you guys are enjoying the conversation as much as I am. We're going to release her to go and break her fast. Yes. I think I should be able to hear the Honorable Commissioner now. Are you there, ma? I still can't hear her. I think it's a sound issue. Devil is a liar. We've had a great conversation all day. I need to hear you, ma. She can't hear me too. So can you refresh, ma, and then come back? And I think it's a sound from your system, from your side. Everyone, sorry about that. It's been an interesting conversation with the Honorable Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Lagos State, an amazing public servant who has committed herself to the development of our people and the good people of Lagos. Are you there, ma? This devil, he doesn't want us to hear the commissioner. I think I'm going to call her to do a volume on WhatsApp. Am I sure it's not even my side? Can you hear me, ma? If you can, oh, you were mute. You've unmuted yourself. Can you use another gadget? Can you put the link on another gadget? Hello, ma. You're hearing me clearly, but I can't. You know what? Maybe I'll put this phone on speaker so that we can hear you from here. Please, can you?
Okay.
Okay, yes, we can hear you now. Guys at home, can you confirm you can hear the Honorable Commissioner? Okay, ma, so keep speaking. We can hear you from the phone. So you were telling us about the governor.
Yeah, it was a funny day, and he just called me that, oh, Moridi, how was the program? They don't even invite me. I was like, I don't want to get you for that. I know you have so many things on you. I don't want to get you for that. So, okay.
I'm having network feedback on here on WhatsApp. Okay, it's working now. Yes, ma'am.
So it's like, okay, how much are you trying to get to empower them? And I told him the amount. Then, wow, that's much. I said, that's not the first time I'm thinking that. It's something I used to. Okay, that's what you like to do. I'm going to double the point.
Wow.
I will add the same amount for you.
Wow. Oh, I think I lost audio again. Okay, it's working now again.
It's not a pause. It's not possible at all. You see us as team players. The work we talk like we are say very passionate about what is going to deliver for the patients.
Wow, wow.
better than what we are having.
Right now, yes. Absolutely.
Just say wait.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Commissioner for Tourism, Art and Sport, Lagos State, pharmacist, tourism, art and culture, Lagos State, pharmacist, Uzamat, Akinbile, Yusuf. We call her Mama Youth. We love you. We celebrate you. We appreciate you. We have gone on for not just even 1 hour. We have gone on for 1 hour, 30 minutes. Thank you for your time. We're happy about the revelations that you have made, the works that you're working on, your goals, your plans, and the things you want to achieve. And we're going to keep sharing this link so that Lagosians can know that Sowo is working, Uzamat is working, tourism, art, and culture is working. And to all our viewers, we want to say a big thank you to all of you for your time and for listening and for watching. Mama, thank you so much, ma. We're very grateful. Yes, sir. Guys, I'm going to be back with the Lagos State Commissioner for Youth and Sport and Social Development at 8 o'clock. It was meant to be 6 o'clock, but it's been moved to 8 o'clock. Thank you so much, so that everybody can go and break their fast. We wish you good luck, ma. God bless you, and thank you so much, ma.